Hey folks, sorry I came in a little bit late. Evidently the needs of a dog come well before the needs of business. Yes, my dog needed to go outside and he meant business. Right now business. Getting myself set up here, getting everything together. Let me get my flip inserts together. I've got the roll sitting out. I've got my bag. Hello, Eric Bayer. All right. Got my bag. I've got my roll. Correct. You need my shirt? Okay, there it is. That's the roll. All right. Camera's turned on. Oops. There we go. This is row reveal number 77. And I don't know why I have a dollar sign in front of the 77, but there is. I've got 50 names here. The roll is taken. Get this out of the way. And I've got one extra for the bank wrapper, which is a Cincinnati branch of the Fed Reserve Bank of Cleveland, Ohio. Wrapped in 1964. Before I was born. Get all these put in here real quick, and then I'll get to opening the roll. Eric, we are working on invoices as we speak. I'm trying to get a little better solution for the invoices than what I currently have. What's the matter with my camera up here? We're not doing anything. Let me see. See if I can get my camera to work again. Nope. There it is. Alright. There we go. We have an actually active camera. Let me get my other stuff here out of the way. Yeah, I know. You guys can't hear me because I'm not talking directly into my mic. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Eric, we are going to be sending invoices today. It's going to be within the next hour or two. Looking for my little plastic tool. There it is right there. Here's my roll. And we're going to go digging for goodies. Get this open here. First, so I could press the coins through. Got that end all done. We got exciting things coming on Coppercoins. Got a new email address to share with you. It's called mailcall@coppercoins.com. Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to start a show called Coppercoins Mail Call. And what you can do is send in a question with clear photos of the obverse and reverse of any coin that you might have question about with regard to how it occurred or what happened with that coin. Preferably Lincoln cents only, because we are a Lincoln cent show. And oops, they kind of spilled here just a little bit, but I know exactly what order they came in, and I will put them back in that order. And I will do my best to take 3 or 4 questions per week that are somewhat related to one another and answer those questions on camera in a sort of a news story manner. And move this other stuff out of the way. Dr. Pepper product. Get your Dr. Pepper products straight from Iowa. All right. Let me drag out. The first coin position will be Doug Reese. Doug Reese will get the roll ender on this end of the roll. Let's see what we turn up here. Oh, it looks like we've got some waxy buildup on that coin. I'm not seeing any hub doubling here. Let's look at the reverse. So coin number 1 turns out to be a normal coin. What we're looking for on these is, either high grade coins, or we could be looking for a double die obverse, double die reverse, or any errors. And so far we found nothing here. How do I want to do this? Put a number 1 on his name. You have to forgive me, I'm just a little bit discombobulated right now. Dog made me late and I hate that. It is what it is, right? There's our wrapper. Stacks of stuff everywhere. Good gosh, Chuck. Clean up your office. All right, here we go. Joe McBride gets coin number 2. There's Joe McBride's coin. These are nice, shiny, uncirculated coins. I'm going to turn my camera so that I get it straight up and down. There we go. I hate looking at stuff at an angle. See what we have here. It's a pretty nice uncirculated coin there, actually. Got some nice color to it. And we got a marker on that one. There's some die scratches headed north out of Liberty. And some down south out of the 9. Looks like there's one headed south out of the 9. So we can use that as a marker. Let me readjust this a little bit here. There we go. We got that to use as a marker, and so we will look at the reverse and see what we got on the reverse of this coin. Just as important as the obverse in this particular case, because there are a number of double die reverses known for 1964 Philadelphia Lincoln cents, and so far we have nothing on this one. I'm showing a goose egg so far. Joe McBride's coin number 2. Working on getting invoices out for this week and working on getting packages out for last week. Hello, John Brandon Bow. Midnight Silver Run. So let me ask you that. I got something to ask. What would you guys think if we were able to open an original bank-wrapped 1936 S roll of Lincolns? 1936 S, and this roll is from a source that is known to have superb gem coins in the rolls. In other words, this is going to be a high grade roll. It's going to be a original Batdorf, shoot, come on. So it'd be an original Batdorf wrapped roll. Batdorf wrapping was an extremely tight form of wrapping. The paper comes to a V shape. That's how you can tell the difference between Batdorf and the typical bank rolling. Where Batdorf wrappers are much tighter, and they keep the coins in far better condition than the bank wrappers, the typical slant cut bank wrappers. And the source from who I am getting this roll tells me that pretty much all of the coins from all of the rolls opened so far from that source have been superb gem coins. And so in that, our price is going to be higher than normal. Here's Farm Dog. Yeah, because normally we're up to about $10, $12 a coin. But these things, if you get a superb gem coin, you're talking about something that's close to $100 in value, if not more. And this roll is almost guaranteed to have them. So there's some pretty decent chance we could get a few $1,000s worth of coins out of the roll. And what I'm looking at is a price somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 per coin. So out of the audience presently, we have 20 people in audience right now. How many of you would be interested if I were to offer a 1936S gem roll at $25 a coin? Raymond Lungy says he would. Here's Doug Reese for coin number 5. You thought you saw a bar L? Oh no, which one? You remember which coin? Was it number 4? I don't see a bar L there. Yeah, this is coin number 4, the one I just showed. Not seeing it there. What's what levels? I don't see it. It's a little bit of flattening on the L, but I don't see anything doubled. Or are you talking about that little line? That's a piece of fuzz or something on the coin. I don't think that's actually part of what's on the coin. Let me take a look. Get the coin out and see if it's part of the design or not. So take the fleck off. Well, that is actually on the coin. The IN is not doubled. Looks like it could be a gouge though. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Let me move it down a little bit so we can get focused. Turn the light up. Wrong dial, Chuck. There we go. Well, tell you the truth, I'm not really sure what this is yet. Let's see what I can do with it here. Ah, just wax. That's all that is. Doom, it's just wax. That's all. It's clear. I can see the flow lines underneath it. Alright, well, thanks for being a second eyeball for me. I didn't see that. Either that or I just skipped by it thinking it wasn't anything, and I was right, but I wouldn't have known as fast as I was going. Let me keep going here. It's coin number 5, Doug Reese. Let me zoom this out. Get this moved over so I can see what I'm doing here. And zoom it out. There we go. And this will be coin number 5. Got 2 reveals coming up today. Got 2 reveals tomorrow. And hopefully between today and tomorrow I will make an announcement that there will be additional row reveals available this week. I'm going to try to do at least 2 more on Friday. And then I may do 2 or 3 of them on Saturday. Still looking for die varieties, whatever we can find. Hey, Jeff Dunn. JOB is next. JOB gets coin number 6. I write 6 on his. There we go. And I'm getting into my groove now. This one's nice and shiny. It's a nice BU coin. There's a little piece of wax down there. See if we've got anything going on here. Nothing there. What do we have on this side? '64 is one of those years that has a lot of nice double dies, but it had so many die pairs used. The double dies can actually be rather scattered and random. A little difficult to find at times. So you think a 36S roll would work for us? Also going to be getting other rolls in. They're going to be rolls in the 40s. Going to be original bank wrapped rolls. Mike Birchman. Next coin is coin number 7 for Mike Birchman. Turn the light down just a little bit. So I think I may have just found a little minor doubled eyelid. Yeah, it appears it could be, but it's going to be a really minor one. Probably isn't going to work for us. Try to get it back in the light here. Yeah, too minor to play this game. Too minor. It's just impossible to really tell if it is a doubled eyelid simply because it's so small. Alright, moving right along. Let's get to the rest of the features on this coin. That's it for the obverse. Hey Joe, haven't really missed anything yet. Been pulling normal coins out of the roll so far. And Mr. Birchman gets coin number 7. Coin number 8 in this roll will go to Farm Dog. Later on today, we'll be doing a 1956 D roll. It's from the Governor Vandiver Hoard. It's from the estate of the late governor of the state of Georgia. Estate of the state. Let's see. Farm Dog on this one. We'll take a look at the reverse on this one here real quick. See what we turn up. Not seeing any hub doubling yet. as there does not appear to be any on this side of this coin. All right. Coin number 9. Shannon McCord. See what we turn up here. I don't think there's anything on this side. Nothing there. Shannon McCord will get coin number 9. These are decent red uncirculated coins. Here we go again. Robert Adams. Robert Adams will get coin number 10. Okay, coin number 10. Shows us normal coin. Now for coin number 11. Oh, there we go. Coin number 10, which belonged to Robert Adams, has produced a winner for the wrapper. There we go. There's Robert Adams. Cubs R Us gets the wrapper in this one. Cincinnati branch, Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland. All right. Now for coin number 11, we will draw Doug Reese. Doug Reese comes out of the wrapper next. Now let's see what we've got going on here. A lot of waxy buildup on some of these coins. Comes right off. I mean, the waxy buildup is easily removable. In fact, I could show you with this coin, I think. Yeah. See all that stuff over there? All that stuff up there? That's all just loose wax sitting on the coin. So I can take my trusty xylene here. Does not affect the surface of copper. Give us a little dip in the xylene. There's that side. Absolutely no residue left behind. And we have a coin that sports considerably less copper, or less wax. Nope, copper is all the same. Yep, just a little bit of wax isn't going to hurt anything. Doesn't hurt the coins, that's for sure. Almost all of it came off the reverse. So it would take a couple of passes to completely remove all the wax, but you get the idea. Doug Reese gets coin number 11. Now for coin number 12. Put my cap back on. Coin number 12 will go to Mike Birchman. One of these days, we're going to run into a roll that's just loaded full of double dice. One of these days. Has to happen. They're out there, folks. They are definitely out there, waiting to be found. Just got to get lucky enough, right? Mike Birchman gets the next one. It's coin number 12. Now for lucky coin 13. Goes to Levels of Madness. Lucky coin number 13 goes to Levels of Madness. Let's take a look and see what we get. Nice BU cleaned coin. Clean coin, not cleaned. Look at the colors on that. It's all kinds of different colors. Real nice. Alright, let's look at the reverse. A little wax on there. Oh, man, really nice clean coin all the way around. No huge hits. No big problems. Very nice. Alright, that goes to Levels of Madness. Coin number 14 will go to Farm Dog. I do have all of the reveals for this week that we've sold already. I do have all of those scheduled. That's a little bit of a lamination peel that affects the 6. Peel came off the digit. Cool. Excuse me. I will be announcing other rolls that will be coming up for sale on Saturday. They're going to be for sale prior to Saturday. They'll be opened on Saturday. Considering doing another 3 or 4 rolls on Saturday. That's weird. Hello, Time Travelers Coin Exchange. Well, you didn't miss anything of great importance, so far anyway. Let's take a look at coin number 15 for Robert Adams. Robert Adams gets this one. Could be these chemicals too. May have something to do with my being tired. Alright. Let's take a look around the reverse and see what we see on the reverse. We seem to have nothing of special consequence on the reverse. That would be coin number 15 for Robert Adams. Now coin number 16. Coin number 16 will go to Mike Birchman. Let's see, coin number 16 is, this appears to be another normal coin, perhaps. Yeah. Okay. The other side. Upgrading the microscope. There you go. I'm working on trying to get a deal struck up with Amscopes so I can start dealing in their microscopes. Alright, there's Mike Birchman's coin number 16. Let's move on to coin number 17. See who gets that one. Shannon McCord. Shannon McCord gets coin number 17. I do all these the right direction. I did. Sometimes I get into my own head, don't know what I've done. Well, actually most of the time, I'm into my own head and don't know what I've done. Sometimes it's on purpose. There's a lot of waxy stuff on this coin. A lot of it. Alright, so I'll show you how it comes off. Real easy. Little xylene. And there we go, much cleaner looking coin. Still got a little tiny bit of gunk on it, but most of it came out. Hey, Coin Dragon. So far, we're producing a big goose egg with this roll. Got some decent coins, but nothing high grade. Got no die variety so far. Let's check for coin number 17. Notice that the cone on your Dynalite makes it so you can zoom past 40x even though it goes to 230x. Huh. I didn't know Dynalites had built-in cones. Alright, so Bill Betts will get coin number 18. Bill Betts for coin number 18. Let's take a look at what Bill gets. Seen this die before. I recognize all those east and west die scratches there. Okay. Decent coin, decent coin. So it turned out to be another nice 1964 plain Lincoln cent. And that's number 18 for Bill Betts. Coin number 19. Got some bankrolls you're going through. Lots of pre-1982. You need to find me a 1980 double die obverse. 1980 DDO number 1. I've got one around here somewhere. All right. Hey, Blue Sandy. And Farm Dog gets the next coin. It's coin number 20. Nothing on that side. Nothing there. See if we find anything else in this one. No. I have to go with a big fat goose egg on that one. It'd be really cool if I had Brian's collection. I just pull out all the 64s that are really nice and show you what they look like before we go through the roll. Chloe. Coin number 21. We'll go to Eric Buyer. Coin number 21 to Eric Buyer. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. This is a very flashy, clean coin. Very nice luster. Nice color. It's got a little bit of that radio, I don't know, some sort of garbage, wax garbage or something on it. Stuff comes right off though. Doesn't he? Got a lot of really nice coins there, you know? Really good stuff. Alright, coin number 22. 22 silver nitrate. AGN03. What do we got for silver nitrate? Nothing on that side. Let's see what's on the other side. Ooh, do we have... No, doesn't appear to be. So it might be hub doubling, but it's not. Got nothing there. Now I'm doing one more reveal later on, Bill. It's going to be the 1956 D roll from the Vandiver collection. And here's coin number 23. One of these days in the near future, I'm going to change our commercials around. So far, I've gotten a couple of promises on the idea of doing commercials for other people, but I haven't received any input yet. I'm still waiting on that input. Hello, Adam. Well, so far I managed to level a huge goose egg on this roll. Need input, that's for sure. Joe McBride, coin number 24. See nothing I've mentioned on this side. And nothing there. Well, everybody getting nice red 1964 Lincoln cents so far, but nobody has received any die varieties. Let's hit that commercial break. Be sure to check out and subscribe to Mantic Coins on YouTube, where host Shay Hoffmaster takes you through a fun-filled tour through numismatics to include coin auctions, educational videos, live roll hunts, and much more. Come join in the educational fun with Shay. Search Mantic Coins on YouTube and subscribe today. The best in online auctions just got better. Now you can enjoy Coin Night live auctions twice weekly with the addition of CNLA Weekend Edition with your host, Jessica Johnson. All the same excitement and the same great deals with a new host and at a new time. Come join in the fun this weekend. What is a music bump? I don't know what a music bump is. I'm guessing it's probably one of those like little musical intros to a commercial or something. Is that what we're talking about? Alright, we're up to coin number 24. Let's pick for coin number 25 and see what happens. Using commercials or in-betweens. Okay. Kind of got that figured out. Hey, Penny Parent. Penny Parent wakes up and Levels gets coin number 25. And Levels of Madness gets coin number 25. Let's see if we get anything on this one. Nice, clean-looking coin. Very nice uncirculated coin here. But I'm showing nothing for varieties. And coin number 26. Go to Robert Adams. Got our big day for weather coming here tomorrow. A lot of people are in the grips of a winter storm right now, moving across the United States. And we're looking at the possibility of actually having snow here tomorrow evening. That'll be a first for this winter. I've not received any snow here. Or at least the chance of snow. Probably more like a rain-sleet mixture. But they're saying a possibility of up to an inch of snow. So let's see. Something I don't understand about Jefferson nickels and dimes is that dimes are so much easier to see full torch versus full steps on nickels. I'd rather look at dimes. Now, the thing about the full steps on the nickels, I think really what they're wanting you to pay attention to is the bottom of the steps. You need to have some squaring off on them. And then, of course, within the steps, they expect to see full details, but yeah, I understand what you're saying with regard to the full torch versus full steps. I just take it that most nickels are not going to be full step if they're prior to 1975 or so. It's going to be kind of tough to pick any that are full step prior to 1975. Especially when you get back into the 50s and 60s. Full steps tend to be quite scarce. You gonna get over a foot of snow? Oh my gosh. Yeah, not for me, thank you. Yep. Your weather is in my yard. I'm gonna need you to come get it. Definitely not for me. Shannon McCord. Coin number 27. Now on to coin number 28. 28 will be Mike Birchman again. Oh, this was a really nice coin. You see it. That's wax right there on the end of the 4, but look how shiny this is. A lot of luster on this. Got a pickle mark right out there in the field on the left side. snow makes for some Norman Rockwell-esque pictures in the Rochester area. I imagine if you've got it's like an older vintage style Victorian neighborhood, you'd see quite a few of those buildings that look better with snow on them. Coin number 29. Of course, you have snow most of the winter. There's Mike Birchman again. Out there in Rochester, you probably get snow just about all the time in the winter. Oh, it's gonna snow again today. No big deal. Gonna snow again today. Not a big deal. What? Gotta go to the store? It's snowing outside. No big deal. Around here, you can get 2 inches of snow and it shut down the city for a week. Now, I'm used to snow, or I used to be used to snow. I lived in Missouri for a long time, so, and before that I lived in Germany. So, I lived in Oklahoma for a while too. It gets cold and snowy in Oklahoma. But yeah, in Florida, you don't really have a whole lot of snow. That's for damn sure. And here in North Carolina, in the eastern part of North Carolina, you don't get nearly as much snow as you do over in the west. Eric Beyer. Eric Beyer gets coin number 30. Let's see what Eric Beyer's got going on. Looks like I'm going to be getting a new microscope here soon, too. I'm going to be going to Amscope for my microscope. They seem to be one of the leading companies in the country for that kind of instrumentation. I'm going to get myself a brand new trinocular stereo zoom microscope that'll go, I believe it's between 7.5x and 45x with the 10x eyepieces. I think I'm going to get mine on a boom mount. Do a boom mount so I don't have to worry about the pedestal. The boom mount would allow me to do anything of any height, anywhere pretty much. I'm still kind of up in the air on that, but I do believe a boom mount is probably going to be better for me. I'm going to try their, they've got cameras that go in the trinocular hole. Shannon McCord gets the next coin. It's coin number 31. So with a trinocular microscope, you have the 2 eyepieces that you look through, and then you got a tube in the top that you put a camera in. And in that tube in the top where you put the camera, they have cameras that'll go in those tubes. There's a little flake of metal right there. There's a really small lamination right there on the edge of the coin. And with that trinocular mount camera, I should be able to eventually feed to my system from that with my own lighting, make it easier to see die varieties, make it easier to look through more coins at once, and get the same bang for your buck out of these shows, yet they last a little bit less time. And I think everyone would like it if I could get through a roll a little bit faster than I do. Silver nitrate, coin number 32. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is an hour-long show a good show? Or do you think it should be shorter? Hey, looky there, we have a double die. We have a Crosslet 4 double die. This one is strong enough to list. Let me see if there's... gotta get junk off of it. Get my xylene back out. I gotta get that junk off the UST to be able to see if there's anything there. Much better. Yeah, we do have a little bit of doubling on the T, the last T here. Get it turned around so you can see it. You know, maybe we don't. Sure thought I did. That right there. That looks like an extra little corner to the T letter. Doesn't look like I have anything else going on, but I definitely have an extra crosslet to the 4. I have an auction for 2 p.m. today on YouTube. How is that possible? And there's people in there waiting for me? I don't know how that could be. Let's see. I'm going to... Thank you for letting me know about that. To go into my studio and see what's going on here. I definitely don't want people to think that there is a show today. Scheduled 19. How? I wonder how that happened. Must have been when I was trying to figure out how to use the new studio. Still working on trying to figure out how to use the new studio. Okay, there we go. That should have taken. I should have taken care of it there. There we go. All right, now let me go back in here. I'm learning a little bit more about YouTube as I go along, and I'm finding out the new studio is not quite as bad as I would have thought it would be. Yeah, it's not a very intuitive thing, that's for sure. I do have what appears to be a minor double die obverse. I'm going to take another good look at it later, but that extra crosslet above the 4, you have the normal crosslet to the 4, and then you have this extra little piece, and then that follows through with what appears to be an extra little corner on the T of trust, and looks like we definitely have something under the L of liberty over here. Yeah. We definitely have something going on under the L of liberty. Make sure that's not gunk on the coin. Does it look like number 7, Coin Junkie? That's definitely a double die there. Let's see what we got going on over here on in. Looks like nothing. In God and we all look normal. So we've got this extra little tail looking thing next to the left side of the T of trust. We've got this extra little crosslet looking thing on the 4 right there. On the right side of the 4, right above the horizontal crossbar. And then we have this nice little bar under the L of liberty. And for that we have our best marker I see so far. There's a real deep die scratch going southwest from the bottom of the E of liberty. And a little short die scratch as a tail on the bottom of the 9. So we're going to make note of this. And I am going to take a good close look at this later on. Let me take a look at the reverse real quick and see if we've run into anything on the reverse. I see nothing specific on the reverse right now. So I will move on to the next coin in the roll, pulling this one off to the side. And of course we are 31 coins, actually this makes 32 coins deep into the roll right now. So I've got another 31 coins to go back through again. I do not want anyone to miss out on having an attribution for a double die I found for them in this roll. This other stuff here out of the way. So I got my pile here. That's going to be die number 1 on the day. A nice little die variety there. Well, silver nitrate gets the next coin in the roll. So it's going to be 33. And coin number 33 is going to show us more gunk on that one. I don't see. I'm looking through all the straw and hay. I'm looking for the ground. I'm finding it. Not as easy as it looks. Nothing on the obverse on that one. Let's take a look at the reverse. Looks like I've got nothing on the reverse on this one too. How you doing, Coin Junkie? Of course, I tell him we think we might get a half an inch of snow tonight, and then it'll probably shut the city down for a couple of days. You look at me like I just grew another eye on my forehead, and I'm looking straight at you with it. Levels of Madness gets coin number 34. And coin number 34 is not the same die again. So might have just a slight tiny little bit of class 6 going on. You can see how the outside edge of the B is curved. You know, it's just not enough really to concern ourselves with. A 34 was Walter Payton. Yes, it was. 34 was also the scout troop in Memphis, Tennessee when I was a kid that everyone competed against because it was a large troop and had a varied number of boys in it that had a whole bunch of different skills, and it seemed like every camporee we went to, Troop 34 was winning all the awards. 34 was also Thurman Thomas. That is correct. I think 34 was Darrell Waltrip's car number 2, wasn't it? Joe McBride, 35. Joe McBride. Was Darrell Waltrip 43? Because I know the Richard Petty STP car was 43. I know Darrell Waltrip had the same number. There's a little lamination flake right there peeled down over the S. You can see that it's got the same shape as the piece that goes up over the rim. And nothing else on the obverse. If I'm not mistaken, Darrell Waltrip did have car number 34. All right. There we go. Joe McBride. Coin number 35. Darrell Waltrip was 11 and 17. Okay. Then I'm wrong. You know what? Don't ask me questions as an expert of NASCAR. I am not. I'm just guessing. At least I knew who Darrell Waltrip was, right? I'm from the old days of racing. I don't even know any of the new racers. I did see on the news yesterday that there was a massive wreck during the Daytona 500 this year. One of the drivers, his car went upside down, ended up in the hospital. He seems to be doing okay, though. I don't remember his name. I'm from back in the day when if you were watching a race, you would hear names like Cale Yarbrough. You would hear names like Darrell Waltrip, A.J. Foyt, Mario Andretti. Sure it wasn't a 30-second scale? Because usually scales work in divisors of 8. 1/8, 16th, 32nd, 64th. Robert Adams. Robert Adams is going to come out with coin number 37. Let's see what that coin is. Hey, there's another one. At least we have something that's repeatable. There's a little thing on the T. There's a crosslet above the 4. Now let's see if our bar L is repeatable. Ah, we got gunk on there. I think I can see it down there, but I'm going to take the gunk off of it first. Yeah, it's down there. There it is, right there. So we have another one. Yeah, it was a 30-second. Okay. You also have 124 scale. That's pretty common. But it's always divisors of 8. So Robert Adams gets an example of die number 1 on the day, and he is now double die brothers with silver nitrate. Why is the crosslet on the 4 not machine damage? Okay, we'll go through that real quick. Because if you look at it closely, and here let's get a better, nicer, closer look at it. Of course, first of all, we've proven to ourselves that this was in the die to begin with, because if it weren't in the die, we wouldn't have repeated from one coin to the next. But let me turn this around to where it's actually very readily visible. Okay. So, if you'll take a look at the crosslet that heads out of the right-hand side of the 4, and then you look at the crosslet as it extends left toward the left corner of the 4, you'll notice that it's actually even wider than the rest of the crosslet that heads into the left side. But if you don't pay attention to the top of the relief, and you look instead at the relief at the field, and you draw a line straight across, you'll notice that that crosslet has not lost any thickness as it goes out toward the right side. And you'll also notice that if you had the opportunity to look at this through a stereo microscope, you would notice that that crosslet is actually raised. That crosslet is raised to the field. Another thing that you'll see is that it doesn't have any very sharp cut on it. Almost all machine doubling is going to have a very sharp cut. And you'll also notice that the top of the relief of that extra little crosslet looks kind of humpy bumpy, kind of like the rest of the field around it. Now, if this was machine doubling, it would be very flattened down, and you would almost have a cut look, because typically machine doubling is going to cut into the coin, because that's basically what you're doing when you have die chatter and the die bounces. So by looking at this, it has what I would call character. It would have character as something that is actually a part of the design in the die, and it doesn't look like machine doubling at all. So that's what we've got there. And that's my explanation for exactly why it looks the way it does. Die chatter happens because of a loose die. If the die is loose, it can bounce on the coin while the coin's being struck. Here's another little piece that I picked up on this. See if I can get this in focus here with good lighting. Turn it around this way. Maybe the lighting will have to come up a little bit to give a good viz of this. You can close your eye if you want to, and I'll tell you when you reopen. Yeah. It's probably going to be the best view I'm going to get of this right there, just like that. I'll turn the light up a little bit. Now, if you open your eye and you take a look at the left-hand side of the top of the T, you'll see a little thing sticking out of the left-hand side of the top of the T. You'll notice that is raised by the direction of light. Light on the top of it, shadow on the bottom. And it is not a die gouge or die scratch, as you do have die gouges, die scratches all around the area, and they are much thinner. They also head in a different direction. So this thing is actually a portion of a partially hubbed T. And yes, the other proof on this is the fact that I have two examples of the same die now, and both of them have all these same anomalies. Now let's take a look at the L in Liberty. Probably going to have to refocus here. You can close your eye for a minute, close your eyes up for a minute, and I will let you know when I have found it and when I've got it lit. Properly lit anyway. Okay, I turn the light down lower on this because we have a lot of reflectivity in that area. It's a little more difficult to make out, but there is a bar, a little raised line of metal coming out of the bottom of the L. There it is right there. And that little line of extra metal is purported to be a part of another L, as was hubbed into the coin. If you imagine, this is a class 1 double die, and the reason it's a class 1 double die is because it is a rotational direction from the center of the design. So you've got a rotational direction, just like with the 55 double die or the big 72 double die. And what you have here is you're coming down on the left side and up on the right side, because you've got that extra crosslet to the 4 is up a little bit, and the bar on the L is down a little bit. So you have a rotation, and this rotation is going to be a counterclockwise rotation. And so while it is a minor double die, it does show in a number of different areas. So this is going to be a 2-star double die. 2-star meaning that it has more than one pickup point. And I do believe there is a pretty decent chance this is listed already, but we will take a look to be sure. So that was coin number 37. JLB gets coin number 38. Let's take a look at coin number 38. I hope I answered your questions well enough. Yes, and now we have at least 2 of these. I've got 36 coins or 35 coins sitting here telling me that there's a good chance I may have another one in there somewhere. Let's keep looking, see what else we find. You're very welcome, Time Travelers Coin Exchange. That's what I do here, trying to teach and help people out while I'm going through these rolls. There's another one of those really minor doubled eyelids, but we're not going to count this one. Doubled eyelids are really difficult to ascertain when die state changes, and given that, I'm really kind of only interested in listing the ones that are going to be more or less obvious in all the different die states, because I don't want a die variety that's really only collectible in early die state, because then you're knocking out about 75 to 90% of the coin's production run, of the die's production run, which could knock out hundreds of thousands of coins on which minor die varieties may not be obvious simply because of die wear. And I don't want die wear to knock out the collectability of a coin. So there you have it. All right, so for coin number 39, do any minor DDO or RPMs carry more premium than major ones? Yes, all the ones that are very difficult to find. All the ones that are very difficult to locate, very difficult to attribute, and very difficult to find. There have been a number of the RPMs for 1960D that have been for a long time difficult to identify simply because the existing photographs of that die were not very good, making the die very difficult to locate. When you don't have much markers, when you don't have much for marker information and you don't have a good photograph, it makes identifying coins from that die very difficult. Given that there are a few listings that Kaneka did not get very good information the first time around when listing that die, and you end up with die that's very difficult to identify, and most people don't have that number simply because they're not really sure what it looks like. You got other rather minor dies that are well known, they are well exhibited, they are well studied, and they are known to be scarce, such as 1960D RPM number 4, 1972 plain DDO number 4. There's a small little bit coming up off the top of the L on that one. You can see it poking straight up out of the very top of the L. That is a minor double die. But I do have my limits as to what I will list. You have another rather minor RPM that is quite scarce. It's a 1960D. It's on a small date. It's RPM number 108. 108. Known to be rather scarce because, well, it's one of those listing things. Hardly anybody knows what to look for. So, and those who do hunt through coins typically skip over them because they don't really look like an RPM. Well, Eric, the best thing I can tell you is take a marker and try to use one of the more obvious markers as your key point to separating your dies. I know exactly what you're talking about because I've run into it a number of times. Kind of difficult to see the difference between this doubling, that doubling, and that doubling. Well, take a marker and use a marker. There's another 1964 Lincoln cent, but this one doesn't seem to have any doubling on it. Not yet, anyway. Not seeing it. Nothing on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. Seems that we've run into no double die reverses in this roll, which it's not exactly a normal thing to run into double dies every time you open a roll. But if you're keen at observing them, you can find a number of double dies where other people would miss them, and that's part of the point of this show, to show you the markers that I pick up on where we can tell Time Traveler's Coin Exchange, not the famous 1972 DDO number 1. It's the famously scarce 1972 DDO number 4. It's a rather minor double die. So Eric Beyer gets the next coin. It's 41. Yeah, it's a rather minor double die, but it's very well known to be extremely difficult to locate. Going for as much as thousands of dollars in nice uncirculated condition. I think there are fewer than a dozen of them known to exist, maybe 2 dozen. But then you have major double dies that are also very scarce and very difficult to locate. You've got like the 1969 S DDO number 1. 1969 S DDO number 1. I think there's 40 to 45 of those known. And given that there's 40 to 45 of them known, you've got millions of people who would collect one if they could. Make some pretty high demand items. Yeah, unfortunately, I really wish I could help out with the idea that Variety Vista is definitely lacking on photos as far as markers are concerned. EDS, LDS, MDS are not really good markers because that doesn't tell you much of anything. But that does come on the heels of not being able to locate copies of a coin to study so that they could add more marker information. and the marker information inherited might have been a little incomplete. Joe McBride gets coin number 42, and this is coin number 42. We can see that once again we have a minor doubled crosslet, but there are a lot of those. The one I chose earlier was just major enough to say, that's not one of those really minor ones. This one's identifiable. This one's identifiable as in has character. It also had the bar L. It also had the minor doubling on the T of trust. But you can see that there is an extra little tiny piece of a 4. The crosslet of a 4 sticking to the north of the regular cross. It looks just like the other one, except this one's got about half the spread. It's just not enough. Let's take a look at the reverse of this coin. That's our first one with a spot. First coin out of the roll with a pretty icky looking spot on it. It had grown some sort of a chemistry experiment there. Well, James Wiles did do a lot of work into stages, into die stages, and figuring out all the different markers that make up all the different stages and in what order those markers appeared on the die. He's done a lot of study into that area. It's my idea that there are probably few people who actually collect by stage. This farm dog gets coin number 43 here. Probably very few people collect by stage. And given that, having the general idea of a number of markers that you can look at and see that most of your markers match up with the markers on a study coin should be good enough for anybody to tell that they've got the same die. And having stages of double dies or repunchment marks kind of, I guess it infers that if there are 5 stages of a given double die, then there's some expectation to get a complete set. You're going to have to collect 5 coins. That could be quite difficult for some of the rare double dies or rare RPMs. The exciting news coming soon, not on the website. Exciting news coming soon is that we're going to be starting Mail Call. It's a brand new show where you can send in detailed photographs of your coin that you have a question about, along with a question, clearly written question, and I will work it into the production of this show. And what the show will be is a good educational visual aid show where I will take some of these questions that I've been asked, form them into a good series of visual aids, and kind of make it like a, I'm going to guess like a documentary show, where I'm teaching you things. Now see there, we definitely have, I'm going to have to wipe this one off, just to see. Looks like we've got a minor double die on the crosslet. We've also got a little bit of doubling on the last T of trust. So that, because it picks up in 2 different areas, we've got another listable double die there. I don't see anything under the L though. So this will be a different die. We're going to call this one die 2 on the day for now. I'll see if it's good enough to be able to photograph. If I can photograph it, then I'll list it. You want to send me a few flat rate boxes of maybe RPM coins? How about if I say, nah, thanks anyway. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, I know that there are a lot of maybe RPMs out there. I got rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls of them. Unfortunately, I don't even have time to do the ones I've got. So with Mail Call, what I'll do is basically, like, if I get, it's probably going to take me a couple of weeks to come up with the first show. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a whole bunch of questions and I'm going to try to pair them up into like subjects. So, for instance, if I get something about machine doubling, then I'll probably do a show about what machine doubling looks like on different coins and tell people they have machine doubling. And then that'll be that show. And then I'll move on to a different subject, such as class 2 double dies or something to that effect. And I'll teach you guys something different every week. And while I will be broadcasting the show live, I will not be taking initial questions. In other words, don't show me a coin and expect me to answer a question there on the show. The show's already going to be planned before I start it. But I will take follow-up questions in case you didn't understand or there's something else that you'd like to see with relation to the exact thing that I'm covering at that time. Kind of like a panel type thing, but it's not going to be... Okay, silver nitrate gets coin number 45. I gotta stop talking for a second so that I can actually do my job. But the idea of the show is not only to do something that directly helps people who are asking questions and directly helps them ascertain what they have or figure out what they have, but also will lead toward an educational basis of a number of shows that I can post on YouTube and people can go and learn from them. I don't want to make it so personal that I'm just answering one person's questions, but I also don't want to make it so broad that it doesn't seem personal at all. I think that's part of the problem with some of the videos that I have seen, is that they find little examples of stuff from Pocket Changer, from their collection or whatever, and they show that. But I think it would be just as good to show actual questions asked by actual people and see what we can do about answering those questions as we go along. So there we go. So coin number 46 will go to silver nitrate again. Silver nitrate name cards down there have been getting kind of lonely, so they're all coming out together. No, don't go without me. Nothing on the obverse of that one. So we're going to try to drum up some more viewership, because I would love to have a lot of viewership. One of the ways that you actually make money off of Google and YouTube is to have a large viewing public watching your shows and clicking on your links and taking a look at your videos and learning from you, because YouTube sees that as valuable content. What they see as valuable content, well, they're going to want to put commercials on there because, well, that's how they get paid. But they give you a part of that pay if you have enough commercials or enough different videos and enough of a watchership. And that's what we're trying to build. Because I don't want to be dependent on your money. I'd rather be dependent on Google's money, because Google has the money. But the other thing that we are talking about and that we are getting ready to begin the process of doing is offering stepped up levels of service from Coppercoins to you for a monthly payment donation, where you will get freebies, goodies, good stuff, and you will get extra time and extra energy from myself and the Coppercoin staff for a monthly payment. So it's kind of like, you know how sometimes you pay for something and you get back in monetary value what you've paid for, but you pay for it in advance. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. I'm thinking about things like free reveals for, and this stuff. It's a website, it's a membership website called Patreon. I'm sure you've probably heard of it. And for those who haven't heard of it, there's another one of those double dies right there. See, that one's a bigger crosslet than the other one I was seeing. You're going to have that little pickle mark on the corner of the T. You're going to have your bar L. But so the Patreon program allows me to set up levels of membership where it charges you monthly whatever your membership level is. And for each different level of membership, I can set up a different level of automatic kickbacks that you get from Coppercoins for becoming a member and making that monthly payment. That monthly payment will go toward new equipment purchases. It will go to upgrading and updating the website. It will go toward paying for the server for the website, which I've been doing out of pocket for a number of years now. This coin number 49, this is next to the last one in the roll. So, and it goes to Midnight Silver Run. Midnight Silver Run is going to get this coin. Coin number 49. Nothing going on there. Can somebody check and tell me what time my next roll reveal was supposed to be? I think I have overextended my time. I think it's at 4:30, which means I've got like 10 minutes to get ready and get up there. Nothing there. So if you guys want to hang out with me in the other roll reveal, I will be back on probably in just a few minutes. Yeah. Thank you, Joe. So it's at 4:30 today, Eastern Time, which it is 4:08 Eastern Time now. So I will be back on in less than 30 minutes. With a new roll to go through, Robert Adams gets the final coin in the roll. And I will be spending time later going back through these coins, making sure that I haven't missed anything, because I am finding what appears to be two different minor double die obverses in this roll. I definitely appreciate all you guys showing up. That's for sure. You know, when I first started doing video, it kind of felt like I was talking to myself. And it was strange. It's like you're talking into this little thingy here, and it doesn't seem like you're talking to anyone. And I got over my fear of talking into a microphone real quickly because you guys showed up. You guys gave me someone to talk to, and I appreciate that. It's a lot better than talking to my walls. So for right now, I'm not going to go through the rest of these coins again right now. I'll do that later. But for right now, what it appears to be, anyway, is that we have two examples of one double die, one example of another double die, and 47 normal coins. But that will change, I'm sure. So, that's it for now, folks. I'm going to go ahead and take off for the time being because I have to get ready for the next show. I will see you over there as soon as it gets started. It's going to be in 20 minutes. See you there.